Up to pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. So I did have one question. This IT8 is actually it's connected obviously to IT4. Right? It's basically second. Right.
If you have any question with you or may not.
Yeah, no, okay, I didn't know if I should do it. First item up, everyone had a chance to read the minutes. Do we have a motion? First by legislator Quiz, second by legislator Lockwood. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are passed. First resolution up, IT1, resolution increasing authorization of capital project number R0121, the Glasgow Courthouse. I'll move for discussion. First by legislator Lockwood, second by legislator Holtz. Rick, you want to say anything on it?
Yeah, this is to take care of the outside of the courthouse in Pulaski. Nothing's been done to it since 1992. It's time for windows. The joints up there are pretty bad on the outside, the fascia, the soffits, and the front of the building, those columns need to be replaced. They kind of have to be replaced, and the whole front entrance is, everything needs to be done up there. It's in pretty rough shape.
I know it's something we've been looking at for a few years.
Well, we had CNS come in, 5 years ago and assess it, and they said it was 4 to 5 years away then, from having it done. So here we are.
Understood. Okay. Any questions, Paul?
So the committee fully is aware. Drawing this out of the capital reserve 21 will leave only about $300,000 left in that reserve for any other renovations we may have. So we need to take a look at our fund balance to see if we are able to replenish any of this by the end of the year for future renovations.
Understood.
So it's a big chunk.
Understood. I know we talked about that. This is basically to get it open, and then we're going to explore possibly some other funding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I did look into a few different grants for this, and there was nothing out there for this year for a grant for that.
Understood. I know there was a question about the historical, if there was anything available.
A few months ago, probably 4 or 5 months ago now, I started reaching out with Tim Stahl and what's the grant person's name? I can't remember.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
So I reached out to him, and he got back in touch with me and looked into it and said there's just nothing out there at this time. And I know we called into the Assemblyman's office also, and there was just nothing out there at this time.
Understood.
one of the things we may want to take a look at as construction is getting more and more expensive. We've been pretty fortunate in having fund balance or reserves to do this, but as these costs grow, we may want to take a look at establishing some type of threshold that if a project is over a certain amount, then we need to, it triggers a look at bonding as an option.
Right.
The bond payments go on the tax levy, but there's only so much, reserves come from fund balance. It all goes back, it all stems from what you have left at the end of the year. So we may want to start thinking along those lines because we have a lot of expenses coming up, and bonding, I think, is going to be something you're going to have to do in the future. So I know what you think about that.
Yeah. Understood. No, I know we talked about that even with some of the larger projects.
Yeah.
So we're not going to have one.
Right.
Hey, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Carries. Okay, IT2, resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Solid Waste, Landfill and Transfer Station, sale of equipment, account to repairs and building and property for maintenance and equipment. Discussion. First by legislator Holst, second by legislator Twist. Where'd he go? Anything you want to say?
This is monies we got for selling basically junky equipment that we weren't using. So I wanted to split it up between these two accounts so we can use it for equipment, and we've got some small building repairs to do. So that's where I'll put those funds.
Yeah, about 22,000, I think.
I think it was double that, like 50, so we're putting 20 in one and 30 in the other, or something. It's, yeah.
Hey, good deal. Got rid of some of the stuff you weren't using. Understood. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. IT3, resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Solid Waste unappropriated fund balance to capital project 0324. Legislator Lockwood, second by legislator Holst.
This is for the landfill cell expansion. Going into it, there were some concerns with the meters and their availability, and we wanted to get the project started. So now that we're to the end, the particular meters we wanted to use aren't available. These ones that were picked are a little more expensive. This was the only overage we saw in the entire project. And once this is done, the DEC will sign off on it and we'll be ready to open. So,
Understand.
How close is that the other cell? Or wherever.
That's cell 5.
cell
right?
5.
How close is that one to being full?
No, 4.
4.
4 is getting there. In fact, I'm gonna have the site survey done, so next session, I can give you an update as to where exactly 4 is.
I knew we were close, so.
Okay. Yes, we're not in any danger, but yes, we're getting up there.
Understand. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Okay. On to IT4, resolution establishing capital project number 0225, Oswego County Airport LED conversion design phase. So discussion with legislator Holt, second by legislator Lockwood. Go ahead, Brandon.
So this is the one we've been discussing with FAA for a while. Incandescent bulbs are no longer manufactured anymore, and you never want to be the first one to buy a model year car or a TV. So LED, as far as airport lighting, has finally progressed to the stage where it's a little bit less expensive to purchase, a little bit less expensive to maintain, and it also doesn't twinkle. The Syracuse Airport actually had a huge problem with that. So the timing is right to start doing it. And actually even better is that this year and next year with the FAA Reauthorization Act, we typically do 90% federal, 5% state, and 5% local. This year and next year with the new act, it's 95% federal, 2.5 state, and 2.5 local. So we're only on the hook for 2.5% of this. Total project is $180,000, and it'll cost us $4,500. So FAA does it in 2 phases. This is the first phase. Gap year. Fund the construction.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried. Okay. IT5, resolution establishing capital project number 0125, Oswego County Airport. This is a new front-end loader with a plow. Discussion. Lockwood? Anything to say?
Same exact thing, a little different. 95% federal, 2.5 state, 2.5 local. We have a payloader, I believe it's a 2004 that was purchased with the FAA funds. While it still works, it's a little bit smaller than we would like, and it's also a little bit older than we would like. That we use a box blade. You'll see them all around the podcast stuff. We have a little bit wider one. It doesn't scrape the pavement. It leaves a hard packed layer of snow and ice that we really can't tackle without chemicals or something, and we don't use any chemicals there. It's really expensive to operate it. So this will purchase a loader. I passed around the plow brochure last month. It's a 30-foot wide plow that you can hydraulically turn into a box blade. it angles, and you can also change the angle of attack with the plow, so you can scrape right down to the pavement. So it'll be much safer for us. It's funded with what used to be bipartisan infrastructure. It's now Infrastructure Investment Jobs Act, 2.5%.
Judging by his pace, you might want to try it.
Try to take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I've got a 2004 Holland Miller.
Understand, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries.
Thank you.
Okay, on to IT6. Resolution authorizing the execution of grant offer at the Oswego County Airport. Again, yes.
You want to make a
Okay, yeah, we can do it.
What?
Yeah, move for discussion. First by legislator Lockwood, second by legislator Twist.
So that way, ever since COVID, they don't mail us the grant offers anymore. They just send it digitally, and we have a real quick turnaround time. This just gives the chairman authorization to enter into these positions.
Understand. Very good. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried. And it is in like 7 because we got to walk around. Oh, I apologize. IT7. Resolution authorizing the execution of the supplemental consultant agreement, number 1, with CNS Engineers of New York State Department of Transportation, and number 3756.98, and 336-6930, replacement of Maple Avenue Bridge over Little Sandy Creek. Looking to move for discussion. First by legislator Holtz. Second by legislator Lockwood.
Yes, I gotta stand corrected on this. When I talked to Phil, I was talking about another bridge.
Well, okay.
That one. And this one's been going on since 21 or 22, I believe. And the DEC wanted to make a bigger bridge for the 100-year storm. Because it's not wide enough, they said, or they had to extend it a little bit longer. And that's why everything went up with engineering on this.
Understood.
They gonna kick some money in?
What's that?
They gonna kick some money in?
DEC? Oh, yeah.
Understood. This is the correct bridge, right?
Yeah, this, when he called me off guard, and I was talking about the County Route 23 bridge about the power poles.
Okay, so start working soon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they're gonna be starting very soon, so.
Understood. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carries. Okay, now we walk on the second part of 4, which is IT8. Resolution authorizing the execution of grant offer at the Oswego County Airport. Discussion. First by legislator Lockwood.
Again, just pre-authorization for the chairman for the LED conversion grant.
Understood. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried. Okay, committee review decisions. First up is rates and policies for snowfall event materials and solid waste.
We've been seeing some stuff coming in. I know there's concerns. I don't know if you guys have been getting phone calls. I've gotten a few calls from haulers about, what we're taking and how we're taking it. Nobody seems to be in a panic or anything. I know Kings has been working with some people. I've got that document that I sent, I think, to some of you. If this is something we're going to do, I think Jay had said one of the things he'd like, as well as myself, is to have a code enforcement official sign off on that, yes, this building came down during the snowfall. People may have to get an environmental company involved to do a site survey to say there's no asbestos. And then, we'll have to take it to the floor, I imagine, to do something for reduced rates.
Right.
And then my other thing that I'm working on is an emergency notification to the DEC and get permission to run the shredder for this material. Currently, it hasn't been an issue. We haven't got a huge influx. And actually, with the condition of the top of the landfill, the C&D that is coming in has been helpful to keep the top more stable. So,
All right. At this point, there hasn't been a big rush that we had anticipated.
No.
So we'll just kind of take it as it comes, but I appreciate you looking at
and
it.
I think what we'll do is, like I said, I'm working on the paperwork. I mean, if something transpires between now and Thursday the 10th at the meeting, and we have to have a discussion, I'll let the appropriate people know if we need to bring something to the floor. If not, then if we need to have it for the May session, that's, if it comes to that. Like I say, I haven't been getting the phone calls that I thought I was gonna get. And if you haven't been getting them, we'll take it as it comes.
So far, nothing. So we're getting ahead of that before it's in. All right, on to fourth quarter midget lease renewal.
The same thing, it's a 2-year lease for the Quarter Midget Club over there in the corner of the airport property. I did not raise the rates, unless you guys would like to raise the rate, $1,000 a year for them. We really don't have much cost, expense, hassle over there, so once they put that fence up over there,
Everything's been going pretty smooth. I know, Linda, that's kind of your area over there. Everything you're going smooth with that.
I mean, it even looks better.
It does,
Even way
yeah.
better. Kids' toys are.
garbage can lid, it's always closed, it's not traffic burns.
That's good. Richie, look over the lease agreement. It's the same as before.
Yeah, it's the same one as before, and I don't think the easement that was approved, backs that fence,
It's further down.
down the, so.
The motion to renew the lease. So let's say Lockwood, second let's say Holt. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, next item up, commercial aviation hangar land lease. Amended.
So this is the one I've been talking about it for a little while. New hangar development, the private investment. We're not going to buy this hangar or anything. It's actually got a firm that oversees a couple different airplanes for a couple different companies. It's looking to move some of that from Syracuse, our facility. We won't get the rent from the airplanes, we get rent from the hangar, and we'll also get the built. So the aircraft, it really is at no cost. So the amended part is we would like to see construction within 6 months of signing the lease, and if not, they'll get these deferred back.
And I'm assuming I shouldn't have Richard read the lease and good with that.
We're good with that. The other thing that the traffic can bring is maybe the hopes for a fixed base operator if we have increased traffic and things like that.
Extra funding for moving up a class.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good potential in this one. And again, it doesn't really cost us.
Understand.
How big of a hangar?
It's actually 100 by 120. He's actually right now looking at the possibility of putting it 120 by 120, which just that little bit of an increase puts you into a firewall. 12,000 square feet, the 100 by 120 is the max before you need a firewall or fire suppression. Fire suppression is very costly. Firewall, if they put an office adjacent, they would put a firewall in between the hangar itself and the office area.
Okay, for motion to approve the lease.
I'll make a motion.
First by legislator Holt, second by legislator Twist. Sorry, Pat.
I would take them over there.
Hey, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Opposed? Thank you again. Okay.
Is anything not yours on this?
I got one more.
Alright.
Oh, boy. All right, where we at? We must be down here. I'll let you have it. This is actually, now we're on this. Okay, we got a few bids here.
Yep, the first bid was on the list is for the
H. Douglas Berkeley Courthouse exterior renovation, and PAC was the low bidder at $1,601,000. So there, I don't know if there was one bid we had to eliminate because they didn't meet the qualifications. New York State has some new regulations and they weren't certified with the Department of Labor. They all have to be now. They have to pay their $200 and get certified.
So that's the best restoration.
Yeah. So they were,
900.
yeah, so by law, they can't bid on this. And there were some other problems with them too when we did some background checking.
Yeah.
But anyway, so PAC's the low bidder.
Understand, the motion to approve the bid. First by legislator Lockwood, second by legislator Holtz. Anyone have any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carries. Okay.
The next bid was for structural steel, aluminum, and reinforcing rod. We sent it to 7 people. We only got 1 response. It's a bunch of different products. So you can see we attached what they did this time and the previous contract with all the pricing. So you can compare.
Oh, yeah, oh, we're familiar with that, how it goes through.
And then the next one was for
Hang
corrugated.
on, we
Oh,
gotta go
sorry.
through. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There.
Seems like that's common though for this specific bid. You only get usually 1 or 2.
Mhm.
Yeah, we always do.
It's always Shimon and somebody else sometimes, but it's
I
always.
think it's because there's a wide variety of stuff. Yeah. They're usually the biggest, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Holly.
Okay, the corrugated steel decking, the lowest bidder was US Bridge, total of $151,800. And you can see we sent it to 4, we got 2 responses.
Understood. Motion to accept the bid. Holtz, second by legislator Lockwood. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carry.
The next one, we just did a request for quotation because that's the A&E services for the salt shed in Parish. We need to get it done so they can store salt this year. So we went to the pre-qualified list, sent out to 4 engineers, and we got 3 replies back, and Barton and Judas was the lowest.
Okay. That was the lowest. All right, motion to accept the bid. First by legislator Holtz, second by legislator Lockwood. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Oh,
Not so much a question, just a note that there's a second collapse out there, the cold storage building, the contents of that building, 7 or so vehicles or pieces of equipment are insured. The building is also insured. That will need engineering and valuation after the carrier takes a look at it and adjusts the claim as well. So I don't know if you're familiar with it, it's attached to another pole barn, sort of like a build out, so.
Cold storage building.
Yeah, cold storage. So we've got coverage on that and, that'd probably be something for next month, I would think, if they're gonna be out there building stuff.
understood. Okay, we're good. We already approved that one, right?
Yes. And the last one is for the airport.
You say it like that.
Understood.
Star of the show this year.
Yeah, we should have started this year. It's for their front end loader, and 5-star equipment was the lowest bidder with a bid of $525,790.26.
That's actually for the loader and that plow.
Right.
And that's the one that will be on the hook for 2.5% of the total cost.
The motion to approve. Legislator Holtz.
Sorry, we do that contingent upon the FAA funding.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Second by legislator Lockwood. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
Thank you.
Okay.
guys can hold it, firm against increase for like 45 days.
Okay, 6 weeks on the district office lease.
But we can't have them hold it for a year.
Oh, I don't, yeah.
So have them hold
So
it
the
firm
renewal
against
of
increase.
Congresswoman Penny's office
And then
lease
what the funding's gonna be.
downstairs.
Understood.
Rich, are there any changes to this?
I was just suggesting to the purchasing agent that we advise the bidder or request from the bidder, they hold their prices firm against increase for 60 days. I don't know what the timing is.
Around the congressional office right now.
Yeah, it was in the package that's, I think.
The question on the prior one was the bidder, contingent on federal funding, they need to hold the price firm against increase. I don't know what the timing of the funding is for that grant, and if it's beyond 60 days, we may need to, I don't know if that was part of the spec. So we'll see what they will do voluntarily. Okay.
I believe that it is in the spec, but we'll double check, because we anticipate that.
Okay.
Were there any changes to the congressional lease for Penny's office?
I'm not aware of any changes.
Okay.
Okay, we had our first, legislative list, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. None. Okay, reporting department, DZ.
All right, out Camp Survey, we had some snow damage out there. I met with the insurance adjuster today. I've also met with Gymo out there last week to get scope on the work that's gonna need to be done. What happened was the roof over the kitchen area has been pushed out. It's not connected into the sealant joists anymore. The beams have kind of spread a little bit, so they're gonna come up with a plan. We're gonna be dealing with that. Bunner Street, they're putting carpet in, flooring in on the second floor, finishing that area up. And we're doing flooring, painting, and new lights and stuff at the other end, and windows. So we're moving forward, and hopefully we're pretty much complete with the inside of that building sometime in May.
All right. Thank you. On to highway.
Well, first of all, we know about the salt shed and, of course, the cold storage shed. And Rich gave us some good news. We do have insurance on that cold storage shed. So we didn't think we did, but it's there. Because we do need it. Anyhow, I just received 2 snowplows, ended up coming Friday. They showed up. Good time of year to come. But we've been waiting 3.5 years for them. So they finally got that. Yeah. And we got 2 more up at Henderson getting built now, so hopefully we'll have them by fall. But then we just received the paint truck that came 2 weeks ago, and then they're coming down to give us some demonstrations on it, show us how to run a lot of training. There's a training on that, it's all lasers and computers on it now compared to what we had before mothers. So, but basically we're just in the mix plant, we're de-winterizing it, cleaning up. Basically, a lot of training coming up, OSHA, all that stuff's coming up. Probably 2 weeks of training. Tree school, I'm sending tree school, stuff like that.
Winterize, correct.
Yes, it was. They're de-winterizing. Very good. And he said it's going to be an easy one. So hopefully for the next one.
All right. Mr. Moore, Mr. Solid Waste.
On the my budget lines, we've been holding open CFS grant money came in. So Robin's gonna deposit that in that line. Next year we can get rid of that line. So that's, I thought that was a good thing. It's been in since 18, I think. We've been talking about this.
You've been waiting to state funding since 18?
This has happened before me, so
CFS, yeah, it's on drawable.
compost feasibility study.
Oh,
And, you know, you and I have talked about it.
I remember.
So there's
You were a big
been
I was
a
baby legislator, I was brand new.
$50,000 open line, and we talked about last year getting rid of it. We'll pull that one later, so we got the check. Robin's taking
I
care of
was
it.
the chairman of the environmental command at that time, so I remember.
So that's a good thing.
It didn't take long at all.
We discussed the landfill cell a little bit. I'm getting a survey done to see exactly where we're at with both 3 and 4. And that leads into this next topic. We're firming up our plan. We've got to get some concrete work done in turf on the retaining wall, the back deck, and on the dump floor itself. Cure time for concrete is 28 days, so that's driving me to schedule forward, see exactly when the work's got to start. We're figuring right around the first week of July, so I was talking to Holly before this meeting. We want to get our stuff out on the street, get our bids in, get the costing in place. Some of these monies I've already got allocated in a capital project. We'll see if I need to put any more in the next few cycles. So the month of July, August, and half of September, or maybe all of September, the IRF will be down to get this major work accomplished. That also lends itself to start putting the fluff layer in cell 5. So I won't start the IRF, I'll have trash available. So this kind of works out hand in hand. I'll have a better discussion next month on this because I'll have more information to share.
Which wall was that? Which wall was it?
There's a retaining wall that when you drive around the backside of the IRF, you go off the driveway onto the back deck.
Yeah.
Right at that transition, there's a concrete wall. It's about 4 foot thick. And I probably goes down 15, 18 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's falling away underneath. We're not in any danger, but we picked it up on an engineering report 2 years ago, and we've been keeping an eye on it, and now we're to the point we're going to address it.
The old fishing spot back then.
I guess. But, so that's, but you need 28 days of concrete cure time before you put heavy truck traffic back on. So that's really part of what's driving this. So again, I'll have more details a month from now as we get this fleshed out. That's really my big topic for this meeting. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Mike. I'm almost afraid to look at Brandon.
I have nothing to report. Anybody that's driven by the airport has probably seen all the construction equipment and materials starting to show up. This is the taxiway Bravo and Delta rehabilitation. We're looking to start that project April 14th. We have a pre-construction meeting next week to get it open. So that should be 3-4 weeks weather timing. Again, FAA funded. We finally got our first fuel truck last Friday. That was a 2023 grant. It's awesome. The old one was such an embarrassment. I mean, we pull up to the big fancy jets and there's no exhaust on it. This is a very welcome addition. So we're really looking forward to the second one. That should arrive next month. And then we can auction off these ones and actually look like a professional organization. Very happy with those. We hosted the advanced meteorology class for SUNY Oswego 2 weeks ago. They came out, they toured our facility, we gave a little presentation, how it has to do with aviation. We also had the weather station out there, they toured the weather station, and see actually real world applications. We actually have the same thing for Syracuse University this Thursday. That's it in a nutshell, unless you want more. No. That was
Keep up the good work.
Slowly. Keep up the good work, right? All right, on to Central Service.
Just a couple items, projects we're working on, phase 2 of the video camera upgrade project. Bunner installs are underway. A couple done there. The tech's back next week. We're also on the camera front working on getting notifications in the system set up. There's pretty robust capability there, and we're behind getting that done really. So if a camera's down, an archiver's down, we're notified on it. We can be proactive. Other big project going on is a network upgrade. I think I may have mentioned last meeting, Bunner is pretty well complete for now. We still have Board of Elections to get tied in. Once that part of the complex is complete, we can get the switch closet set up and start to get stuff patched in. But Bunner is, for the most part, complete. The backup internet circuit was hooked back up last week, so that's functioning the way it should be with the primary New Visions interbuilding fiber and then that backup secondary circuit. Weekend before last, we cut over the legislative office building. That's substantially complete. The only couple parts we skipped, the county clerk's IQS network. There's a little bit more complexity with that, and we're working with the vendor and coordinating with the county clerk's office to cut that over in the next couple of weeks, probably. Still a little bit of work to do with that courthouse as well, which is connected through this building. But this building, for the most part, is 95% complete as well. Next large building we'll do is DSS. We're working there now. I mentioned last meeting, I think, showed a picture of one of the switch closets. We're recabling all the closets, cleaning them up, getting them up to what I consider best practices, and and set up in a professional, efficient manner. Lots of small things going on, but those are the two big things we're making good progress on.
Okay, sounds good, thank you.
Sure.
All right, I know everyone has copies of all financial.
Well, ours say zeros, but. that's-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, excellent.
so if you want me to email them out.
Have it
I
here?
can.
Yeah, we can email that around to you. Good. Everyone good with that? Have to get
I'll
the
read the email.
email.
I'll send it out.
All right, everyone good? Okay, looking for the appropriate.
So moved.
All right. First by legislator Twist, second by legislator Holt. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.